Okay, in this tutorial we're going to talk about monitor settings, and we'll cover resolution, screen resolution, and the refresh rate. We'll briefly cover dual monitor setup, and then there's four tabs I'd like to just briefly go over as well. The quickest approach to your settings is going to be right off the desktop. So if you just right click in Windows 7 and go down to screen resolution, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It goes right into the process here. And the screen resolution is the correct size to fit the screen that you're each screen setting that you're using. And so it has borders on how big it is, and it's going to, of course, change the icon size and the toolbar on the bottom as well. So each one of these I click on, you can actually see it adjusting the screen. This is a really big screen that I'm using, so I've got some pretty major boundaries I could go to, but you can see that that one's is real narrow, and I'm using a widescreen like that, so that's probably where I could go. But in this case, I'm just going to leave it here, and then I'm going to adjust it though, actually, so that you can see what's going to happen, and then hit apply. And if you were to ever make a change and then you can't see it, it's too big, you don't have to worry, because right here is a timer, and you just wait and it's going to revert back just like it says. You can also hit the enter key and it will jump back. You see how that jumped back? Anyways, basically that's how you would do that. So we'll jump back over here and leave it set where it's at. And it didn't make the little adjustment or give you the screen counter because that's where it was already at. And so basically that's how you address setting resolution. Now the screen refresh rate, if you get a flicker or lines in your screen often enough, if you're using a projector and you're projecting off one of your screens, sometimes you can get a little ring or like a scroll looking constant video like scroll running, and that can have something to do with the refresh rate. So anyways, if you click on advanced settings and then these four tabs up here, you go to monitor, and right here is your screen refresh rate. Okay, and it's pretty straightforward. Usually it's right around 60, and the better quality, the higher end monitors can handle a higher refresh rate. I don't want to go into too much detail so as to bore you to tears. Anyhow, and then we'll go ahead and close out of this. And then the dual monitor, I'm going to pull, I'm actually on a Mac, and this is a virtual Windows 7. And so this is this is kind of what it would look like in Windows if you had. You can see that there's two. You can't see my other monitor, of course, because I'm recording this one desktop. But if I click on this, you can see that it turns red on the outer edge. I don't know if it's showing up in my recording. And then when I click on this one, it's actually making the other one turn red. And you can actually adjust how you want these to lay out. So if you have the secondary screen on the right rather than the left, and you want your mouse to do an even flow from one side to the other, you can adjust that by clicking on these. And then you can also go into each one of these monitors individually and adjust the reason you didn't see the dual monitor settings is because this is, like I said, on my Mac, and I'm not using dual monitors necessarily with Windows, but with my Mac, so that's why it looks a little different. So kind of ignore this. If you do have a Mac, then kudos, you kind of get an idea. So let's move that off the screen. Let's go back over. Let's just briefly talk about the four tabs now. So go into screen resolution, clicking advanced settings, and then these four tabs. Okay, the adapter is actually identifying the video card and the specifics under the information here of the type of card that it has, the type of card that it is, I should say, and RAM that could be available on the card. This is actually a dummy setting because it is a virtual Windows 7. Let's go over to the monitor. We already covered the refresh rate, and then generic non-P2P monitor settings. You go into the properties, and if you wanted to do an update for the drivers, You can do that automatically. And here, what I mean automatically is that you can go online, or if you already have them, you can uninstall and then reinstall the drivers, the current or updated drivers. Anyway, let's get out of that and let's jump over to troubleshoot. Now, let's say you're having issues with the refresh rate, or the you've already checked the refresh rate and your resolution, and it's not working. Right here, this hardware acceleration, it could be that your monitor is just asking too much from your PC if you have a lower end PC, and you may have to pull this back to dial it back a little bit on its use. If your cursor is choppy, or you have a flicker in your screen, after you change the resolution, if that doesn't fix it, it might be in here. And it kind of gives you this, because of the virtual windows. This doesn't give you all the options that it normally would. And then color management's pretty straightforward. It's just basically what it says, in terms of having a higher or warmer tone in color, and so forth. And that's basically it for the tutorial. Thank you, and have a good day.